So I'm not really bothered by the handheld style video footage that I get when I'm shooting with my GoPro, so I've never really considered buying a gimbal for myself. Now, don't get me wrong, personally, yeah, I would love to have one, and I would certainly love to be able to try out a couple of brands and do reviews here on my channel for you guys. But for myself personally, for what I shoot, which is mostly family videos, I'm just not really going for perfection usually. So I just really haven't found myself wanting to drop 300 bucks on a gimbal. But lately, I've been trying to take a little bit more of a cinematic approach with my family videos. So I've been playing with my settings a little bit more, and recently I took my Hero 5 Black when we went to go cut down a Christmas tree. We had a random, beautiful 50-degree day here in upstate New York. It's random because it's December, and we went to cut down a Christmas tree. So took the GoPro with me, and as I'm editing the footage, I can definitely see some spots where I think it would have been beneficial to have a gimbal. So I shot this in 1080, 60 frames per second, so I could get some slow motion kind of action happening. And I have Pro Tune on with the color set to flat. So you've probably heard me say before, I usually shoot with 1080, 30 frames per second, and I usually shoot with Pro Tune off because I kind of like to just go with the full auto on my GoPro. But lately, I've been kind of experimenting with my settings a little bit more and shooting with Pro Tune on. And like I said, looking through this footage, I can really see how a gimbal would be beneficial, especially when I slow it down and here where I'm walking. I could get some really smooth pan shots, buttery smooth as they say. Overall, I think it would just be a lot smoother. But there's nothing really wrong with my footage. They're family videos. They're not meant to be perfect. And I think it's great that I even have the videos. I think this is an incredible hobby. So do I really need a gimbal? Does it really have to be buttery smooth? The way I see it, there's pros and cons to having a gimbal. Pros, obviously, your footage is going to be smoother. You have a handle. I always recommend you use some type of a handle or a hand grip with your GoPro. So with the gimbal, you have a handle. The downside of a gimbal, I think for me, is that it would make my GoPro less grab and go. You know what I mean? I like to just be able to throw it into my purse or my backpack and head out the door. It's a little more fragile. It's not one of those just throw it in the backpack kind of accessories. And it's one more thing that I have to keep charged. So would a gimbal be nice to have? Yes, it would. Would I like to own one? Of course I would. Am I gonna go out and buy one? I don't know, but I get asked this question all the time. Are you gonna buy a gimbal? What brand are you gonna buy? Which one should I buy? Which one should I be looking at? Which ones are good? Which ones are bad? I wanna do a little bit of window shopping with you. We're gonna talk about the 5 most, I would say, popular brands of gimbals. Did I say 5? Because I meant 4. We're gonna talk about the top 4 brands that I see floating around when people are considering buying a gimbal. So that would be the GoPro Karma Grip, Evo, Feiyutech, and Remoview. Yeah, and Remoview. Probably the ones that you looked at yourself when you were shopping for a gimbal, or if you're shopping now, let's do it together. And of course, I'll put links to all of the gimbals that I talk about here today down below this video. I usually link to multiple shopping sites so you can check every place out, compare prices before you pull the trigger. Is my light going away? And to keep any suspension going, I'm gonna go in order of least likely to buy to most likely to buy. So hop onto my computer with me and let's go window shopping. So first things first, I have Feiyutech at the bottom of my list for no particular reason. This one here is a 3-axis gimbal. It says that it's splash proof. It says it's compatible with the Hero 5. I'm guessing it probably would work with a Hero 6 too, but it doesn't say that. And you have to buy a separate actual gimbal if you want one that is wearable, and this one is $318. So for a combined price of $518, you could have a wearable and handheld gimbal from Feiyutech. Next up, I have the Evo. There's the Evo GP Pro gimbal handheld stabilizer. This is $250. It has a 5-hour battery life, which I like. I like that. That sounds great. I always hear good things about Evo, so I would definitely consider them. And second on my list is the Remoview S1. I really like the look of this. I like that you're kind of getting a 2-in-1 here because you have the handheld and the removable so that you can wear it or mount it on something. So I think that's great. This one is also, is it waterproof or what do they call it? It's rainproof. So that's great. That's amazing. And the Remoview S1 here runs $280. It's not super clear to me if it comes with the appropriate cases and stuff to use with your GoPro. So I'm not totally sure if that $280 gives you everything you need to just rock and roll with your GoPro. So if I had $300 and I was gonna buy a gimbal right now today, I would probably get the Karma Grip. I like that it's made by GoPro, so as far as compatibility issues and firmware issues, anything like that should be pretty squared away. I like that it's a grip and you can remove it and you can mount it and you can use it with the Karma drone. I don't have a Karma drone, but I would, you know, I wouldn't be opposed to owning one. So I like that it kind of goes along with that same system. Now I'm sure there are other gimbal brands out there, but those are the 4 that I see questions about the most often in the GoPro Enthusiast Facebook group. And those are the 4 that I have just seen reviews, seen people have really good experiences with those brands and those particular models. So those are the ones that I would be looking at if I was gonna buy a gimbal today. Now earlier this year I put together the Ultimate GoPro Enthusiast wish list over at vidpromom.com/wishlist. This is a list with links to multiple shopping sites of products that I own, that I recommend, and products that I wish I owned, and I included gimbals in that list. So if you're shopping for yourself for Christmas, or you just want to give a wish list to somebody else who might be shopping for you for Christmas, then you can go to vidpromom.com/wishlist. Just share it on Facebook. Let me know in the comments if you have a gimbal, if you have experience with any of the ones that I mentioned, or if you've had really positive experiences with other brand gimbals. I'd love to hear about it. And give this video a big thumbs up before you go, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you next time. Bye. During this kind of... Can you tell I'm reading from my notes? So we went down to cut down a tree for Christmas. You know, a Christmas tree. You know, a tree for Christmas. What are those called again?